What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to a couple of subscribers. Shout out to Kenneth Lawfully for the $5 donation via the Cash App. Leaves a note saying, "This is my favorite channel. You tell it like it is." Well, I tried to be like Howard Cosell and tell it like it is. Some may like it, some may not. But I try to regale the masses with my sports acumen. Much respect to you for showing love to the channel. I also want to give a shout out to the brother Brendan Olson for the $10 donation via the Cash App. Freaking contributor, shout out to you once again. Says best NBA YouTuber out there. Well, I try to do my best, man. I don't know about me being the best because I try to be modest, but I try to do my best. No doubt about it. I always try to do the best that I can. Now, Rachel Nichols. Rachel Nichols is getting flamed on social media for a tape that she had about the Golden State Warriors, which truly makes no sense whatsoever. Okay? Yeah, she literally embarrassed herself on Undisputed recently. And what am I talking about? Well, she said that basically the Warriors are a team that depend on free throws to win. And if they don't have an advantage in that area, then they are vulnerable. Yeah. So she said, matter of fact, let me start from the beginning. Rachel Nichols' recent comments on Undisputed regarding the Golden State Warriors and their dependency on free throws have left many scratching their heads. In her analysis, Nichols suggested that the Warriors' success hinges on their ability to capitalize from the charity stripe, citing the proficiency of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson as evidence. However, a closer look at the statistics paints a different picture. She said, "One thing that worries me about the Warriors for them in terms of what their future might look like, and maybe in the do-or-die play-in game is if it happens, is we look at that Boston-Milwaukee game last night, right? 2 free throws for the entire game and none for Boston. Well, the Warriors are a team that depends on their free throws, right? Steph Curry, 92% free throw shooter this season. Klay Thompson, 92% free throw shooter this season. You take those away, I'm curious if the play-in game, if the playoff games are going to be called the way the regular season game in the last 2 months are going to be called. And look, we always know playoff games are called more, let them play a little bit more anyway. They tend to be a little bit more physical anyway. The Cleveland Cavaliers started playing Steph Curry so much more physically. They were beating him up, and LeBron James remembers that. And if all of a sudden there's more leeway in the league to play physically against these guys without getting calls for it, that would affect the Warriors too." This doesn't make sense on so many levels. The Warriors are not a team that depends on calls to win. They're not the Lakers. That team that has a 1,000 plus differential advantage since the start of last season against their opponents. They're not the Lakers. As has often been told to us, when we complain about free throws, well, the Warriors are a jump shooting team, so they don't get to the line much, which is true. They're 28th in the NBA out of 30 teams in free throws per game. Now, they do have some phenomenal free throw shooters on that team. Steph Curry, as she said, Klay Thompson. I think Wiggins is pretty good. Kevin Durant was great when he was there. obviously. Um, Chris Paul is a great free throw shooter, 80 to 90%. But they don't get to the line much because they're jump shooters. So I would imagine that Curry maybe averages this year. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. Maybe 6 free throws a night. Clay maybe two. I'm just guessing. They don't get to the line much. Now they make the most of their attempts, but they don't get to the line that often. Now a team that does, depend on free throw shooting and getting to the line, the Lakers. The Lakers are a team that really depends on free throws to have an advantage. And by the way, the reason why I think free throws have gone down over the last couple of months is to try to bring down scoring. Okay? They saw the brouhaha that came up with that 211 point performance by the East in the All Star game. They know what's up. So, in an attempt to try to bring scoring down, free throws have been fouls have been called less often. Or at least free throw shooting fouls have been called less often, and that's corresponded with scoring going down a little bit. Because at one point in time this season, the average score in the NBA was 115. The average team, I should say, had scored 115.6 points per game. Now, last time I looked at it, it had dropped almost a total. It had dropped almost a total. An average. What am I trying to say? It dropped almost a total point in average. It's like 114.5. See if I can find it. Here we go. Yeah, it's dropped further now. It went from 115.6 to 114.5. Now it's down to 114.2. Free throw attempts this season at 21.8, down from last year, an average of 23.5. So they're trying to make a concerted effort to bring down the total amount of points. You know, yeah. I mean, what she's saying doesn't make any sense, man. The Warriors do not rely on free throws. They don't. They rely on, well, when they're good, they rely on their defense. They rely on ball movement when they're playing at their best. Because I think they're at their best when they're not just relying solely on Curry and being a little bit unpredictable offensively. And jump shooting. Mixed in with some mid-range. That's when they're at their best. I think sometimes they can get a little bit ISO happy and rely too much on shooting threes and deep threes and things of that nature. When they're going in, that's fine when it's going in. But I think they're at their best, like I said, when they rely on ball movement, moving the ball, playing good defense, and you know what I'm saying, being a team that tries to get the ball to the open man and being a jump shooting basketball team. And they have a team full of elite shooters. They don't rely on free throws. What is she talking about? She acts like it's a team full of like. I mean, it's like she's acting like it's a team that's full of James Hardens, Adrian Dantleys, Patino Mobleys, Karl Malone's, Moses Malone's. They don't rely on getting to the foul line like that. What is she talking about? But you don't have to know what you are talking about when you get into the business the way she did, being related to what, Diane Sawyer, I think it was. And, you know, probably doing other things to get whatever, you know. You know I'm going with that. Free throws. What is he talking about? When you look at it, matter of fact, to be honest with you, when you look at the best free throw shooters in history, with I say the sole exception of maybe Rick Barry, I would say maybe Kevin Durant too, but definitely Rick Barry because he got to the line a lot earlier in his career. Most of the guys who shoot free throws very, very well, like 87% and better, are point guards or jump shooters, and they don't get to the line that often anyway. Yes, they shoot a high percentage, but they don't get to the line that often. You know, like Ray Allen, Curry, Thompson, Miller. Now, Miller had games where he got the line a lot, don't get me wrong. He would have some games, but his game wasn't predicated on that. Calvin Murphy, Chauncey Billups, Terrell Brandon. I'm thinking all of the elite free throw shooters. Larry Bird. They didn't get the line like consistently 8, 9, 10 times a night. So what is she? I have no idea what she's talking about.